Hi, welcome to the first Shaving with Neil. I'm your host, Neil Murphy, and I'm going to talk about anything and everything to do with film. And the first movie we're going to talk about is The Dark Knight Rises. So let's get started. Now, anyone and everyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, film, and Batman. Put those three things together, and it's Christmas morning for me. I was super excited to see the movie. I loved it. And I'm not going to really talk about how much I liked it or review it that way. I am going to first talk about, though, some concerns people had about certain parts of the film. So, first and foremost, let's talk about Blake. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, huge spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, go out and see it. Come back, check it out. I don't know why you haven't seen it yet, but you should definitely go check it out. Now, first character we're going to talk about is Blake. Blake is a cop in the movie, and he basically is an homage to Robin. He is not Robin. He is not the Robin we know, and he's not going to become the Robin we know. We find out the big reveal at the end is that his actual official name, his legal name, is Robin. And that's supposed to be a big reveal. And everybody goes, whoa, he's going to turn into Robin. No, he's not going to turn into Robin. He's most likely going to be Batman. Whoop, got some on the robe. He's most likely going to turn into Batman. The reason why? Nobody's going to go out with their legal name and call themselves by their legal name. They'll get caught in like 20 seconds. I go out and call myself Neil. I mean, right now I'm making it worse. I'm putting myself on camera right now, and everybody's going to go, hey, it's that Neil from Shaving with Neil. He's a crime fighter. Let's put him in jail. So, no, Blake is not going to be Robin. He is, however, going to take on the mantle of Batman. The reason why they called him Robin was he kind of acted as a Robin. He was kind of like the sidekick. He was out there helping Bruce. He knew who he was. He knew who Batman was. In fact, one of the Robins figured out who Bruce was in the comics the same way that Blake did. So, suffice to say, it's just an homage to the Robin character. It was the only way they could really put in the Robin character without really introducing that kind of a silly sidekick that I think they thought was originally going to be the problem. This also brings up the last shot, which is him rising up on the platform. This is the end of Nolan's trilogy. This is not going to be continued on. Blake is not going to become Batman. Nobody wants to go see a Batman movie that's not starring Bruce Wayne. Nobody wants to see it. And nobody's going to opt for that. So, and Nolan's pretty much said he's done. And he's kind of a man of his word in most respects when it comes to that. So, it is the last one. It's really just to show how legends can live on, how the people carry the spirit of that. So that's first and foremost. He's not Robin. Next, Bruce. There was always a thing where people would come up to me and say, "Oh man, I mean it was a good movie, but at the beginning Bruce was such a baby and he hung up his cape for a woman." The woman they're referring to is Rachel Dawes, which if you haven't seen The Dark Knight, I don't know why you're watching this. Go check out The Dark Knight. Go check out The Dark Knight Rises, and you'll know Rachel Dawes is dead. She died in the last movie. She died. The Joker blew her up, and people are saying, "Oh, he hung up his cape and cowl for a woman." No, he didn't hang up his cape and cowl for a woman. If he had done that, he would have done it in the last movie right after she died, and he wouldn't have done anything to stop the Joker. Now, even if that was a case where he decided, "Okay, I'll stop the Joker for revenge," then I will go ahead and hang up my cape and cowl. There's a few hints to this in the movie. First of all, Alfred says to him, "You're just waiting for things to go bad again." He says you haven't moved on. He's saying that he wants to be Batman again. Plus, later, when they have an excellent scene where Alfred talks about how he's going to leave him, threaten to leave him if he doesn't give up his dream to be Batman again. He tells him how she did move on, and Bruce even says she didn't move on. She couldn't, So he's saying, how could I? And if he's saying that, that means that he totally wants to be Batman again, and he always wanted to be Batman again. He just needed a reason. The only thing is that holding him back is that he kind of felt that they won. He tells that to Gordon in the hospital room. He says, "We won." So he didn't hang it up over a woman. And, this kind of also brings up the whole thing. People talk about, oh, Batman's not Batman in this. He's not the great detective. He's not somebody who keeps fighting crime. He wouldn't just give up. Even at the end of this movie, he would have went on. Well, they're trying to play it out a little more realistically, and it's a movie. It's not a comic. It's not a TV show where these things can go on and on and on. You have to end it. And that's kind of the positive and the negative of it is that, yes, you get to explore less of the character. But the positive is that you get a well-rounded, very finite story, something that you can watch from beginning to end and feel satisfied. TV and comics can do that. Comics do it even less than TV, but you got to have a finite end to these things, and it's trying to play it a little bit more realistic. So, in essence, it just I think it makes it a much better ride. Yes, you don't get to see. I love Batman. I love the character of Batman, and I would have liked to have seen Harley Quinn maybe, and I would have liked to have seen the Riddler. But you know, you can't always get what you want, and in this case, Nolan gave us the very best he had. I mean, the great things about the movies, the action scenes are great. The opening action scene with Bane is incredible. I love that scene. My top favorite scenes, though, are number 3 is when Alfred tells Bruce that he's leaving. That's a rough scene. I like heavy drama, and it really, you know, talks about the characters a lot. Like, you know, we get to see some real, between two characters we absolutely love, we get to see some real friction between them and either decide to take sides or just watch and not have anything we could do if we were put in that spot. And I love that type of drama. The second favorite scene of mine is the Bane fight. Now, the Bane fight is just, it's dark, gritty, it's mano a mano, just the first Bane fight. The second one is good, but the first one is really just something to behold, and great to see. And then my favorite scene is when Bruce finally climbs out of the pit. It's just the music in that, and just the swelling of it, and how it leads to that final, you know, kind of just huzzah moment of just getting out and defeating. It's a great feeling, and I absolutely loved it. The not so good. There is stuff in this movie that I did not care for a little bit, or that I had some issues with. I shouldn't say, like, it didn't really hamper it down too much for me, but I would say the women in this movie are not fleshed out as much as I think they could be, and it's not to blame the actresses. It's really in the writing. Catwoman, I do not believe her change and heart at the end so much. I mean, Anne Hathaway does her best of trying to portray that and see the struggle within her, but in the writing, it doesn't really show as to like why she just wants to give him a hand and really protect him. The other one is Miranda Tate. Now, she has a big reveal. I'm not going to talk about that, but I am going to talk about her death scene, which was awful. Her death scene was terrible. It's laughable. I've heard people laugh a few times. I've seen the movie numerous times. No surprise. And it's just, it's laughable. You can't help but, like, you know, kind of chuckle because of the performance given. I don't know why that was. I guess the person to blame there would be more Nolan. But those are two small things. Overall, it is, to me, the blockbuster of the summer because it has great action, strong enough drama. I would say that it's a little bit below Dark Knight Rises, but that is, I don't like to compare movies that way so much if I can help it. Can't be helped a little bit because they are in the same series. But I think that really the Joker kind of, you know, makes the Dark Knight a little bit better. Plus, there's a little bit more characterizations. And this movie it goes a little bit more absurd in terms of certain things that happen, but it tries to keep it as real as possible while giving you just a fun ride. Great characters, highly rated. So, anyways, looks like that's the end of the show. If you have any questions, comments, movies you'd like to see me talk about, put it in the comment section below, and I will read it, and I will see you next time.